everybody, and welcome to Read Spider-Man Crawl Space Edition. Check us out at the SpidermanCrawlspace.com. Well, the time has finally arrived. I'm here, of course, to finally review Amazing Spider-Man number 27, aka 991, The Big Conclusion to Death Spiral. Yes, Part 9, written by Joe Kelly with artwork by Ed McGuinness, Carlos Gomez, and Francesco Manna. So this is it, everybody. What was the big piece? What is the final battle as the new Spider Carnage battles Torment? Well, let's get into the pros. First of all, I actually really enjoyed the battle. Despite the little artwork for a lot of everything, this is actually a really well done battle between Spider Carnage and Torment. I also liked how they used the Carnage symbiote to kind of make the mini spider attacks, as well as using the different areas. And of course, as we see that Carnage really was trying to, consume Peter with his pain and anger, which actually works pretty well. I actually did like this because this is actually what the Carnage symbiote I did to Ben Riley many years ago when the original Spider Carnage happened, as well as the animated series. It's nice to see that actually put in there, and the artwork by the various artists works really well with it. I did enjoy it, and the fact that Torment has kind of fallen into a lot of partners and he's trying to distract Spider-Man. And I have to say, Eddie Brock coming in using the gauntlet to kind of temporary free enough of Carnage off Peter so he can actually get some pieces on there to try to fight the Carnage. I mean, that works really well. Eddie knew what was going on, and it kind of works very well and kind of quick. It's not a Deus Machina. We saw the setup and the fact that he's able to use it, and he knows exactly how to fight the Carnage symbiote because of being bonded with it since the end of Venom War. So it's actually not too bad of a part, too. And I actually have to say, I really did enjoy how Peter beat Carnage by actually putting him with the different responsibilities, the different lengths and strengths he's done. It's the first time in a while we've seen Peter dealing with the fact of all the lessons he did learn. Usually it's always Parker luck. He's always guilty of something. I did like that reversal. Joe Kelly did do that as well. Yes, it's the power of love, but it's actually the power of responsibility and pieces, which allows him to finally fight off Carnage, and it does work very well. And also, too, is a piece about Mary Jane going after Torment. First of all, and I'll throw this into as a minor con, is we never knew exactly who Torment why he looks like a Deadpool wannabe, but basically talking about how it had to do it, how he had to end the pain, and of course using May's full name, Mary Bell Parker, which has not been talked about in a very, very many years. But at the fact that Mary Jane knows what it's like to deal with abuse. She knows what it's like to deal with a lot of torment. She even owned her own weapon for a tile for a couple of things too. The fact that comes to the point of how she ends torment by basically letting him fall off the side of the building, no symbiote, no nothing, no weapons. It makes sense because sometimes things just can't be fixed, and it does put in a very interesting piece there with the current Venom series on this with Mary Jane as the Venom. I can't say I don't understand where she was coming from. But that leads to the cons. First of all, we got the big thing. Oh, look. Oh, hey, Flash. There you are after he was almost done. But the fact they're kind of having it so where Flash is pining for Mary Jane and kind of doing a piece, and the fact that he didn't really do anything except any last couple things left of the Carnage symbiote before it wicks away to try to, use what's left of it to try to survive off cockroaches as well as mice and rats in the sewers. That's interesting. But the fact that it's been pushed very hard here in this crossover that Flash is pining for Mary Jane to have her. I don't like that. Also feels like it's kind of useless on that. We didn't really get to use anti-venom in a way that would have really worked. It was nice about how anti-venom worked against Carnage and Torment, but it's never really done with that. Another thing is basically, Eddie goes to jail, everything's been set, and hopefully this will be resolved and talked about in the main Venom series, which apparently it's going to be, is from what I read here. But basically, Dylan basically walks away as the Drifter again. I mean, Paul's now officially dead. I mean, it's confirmed the end of the issue, he's gone. And Eddie has now got to go to prison for everything that happened to him. He no longer has the Venom symbiote. He no longer has the Carnage symbiote. He is back to being normal Eddie Brock, but he does not have any of the King in Black powers and everything. And that's going to be ventured up in the Queen in Black storyline with Null. So I'm not even going to go there because I won't be reviewing that series here. But it kind of feels like Eddie's now in jail. Dylan's kind of back to Drifter. Probably will go live with Mary Jane again or somebody else. Who knows? Because, he knows that Mary Jane has a symbiote and the bonding is what it is. So it's okay. It's not bad. But I think the biggest thing gets us thrown at the cliffhanger when we find out that cousin they talk about, Cousin Crane. Interesting kind of pieces. And he actually says he wants to get a doctor set up. He wants to find out about what's going on because now he heard, oh, wait, I have a cousin. It's also kind of revealing, too, because if he finds out if he's related to Peter Parker, he'll figure out Peter Parker is Spider-Man. The question is, who is this relative? Because he's apparently not aware of the Parker side of the family. He is not aware of Peter. He's not aware of May. It feels like this has kind of been thrown in here as a piece, and it's on. I feel like the series kind of just sputtered. I kept it as a B range except the last issue with everything, which I gave it a C plus. But I feel like by the time the end of this is over, this is a B minus issue. It kind of leads to a B minus storyline. It had a lot of potential, but we never got who Torment was. We don't know the full motivation. The spirals and everything looked so cool, and then they don't even resolve it. Maybe it might be talked about in the current Venom series. Maybe Charles Soule will do a mini series if he gets a chance to write the book again. But I really do feel like this crossover started off on a really cool I think was really talking. It actually led to the death of Eddie Brock's actual father, the death of Paul. I mean, it's a big status quo in the fact that Mary Jane is going to be going more to look like herself as Venom going forward here, as well as Peter kind of trying to deal with a fallout of Ben Riley now that this has all been taken care of and Eddie Brock is in prison again. We'll never see him again, and I get it, but I think between trying to push Flash onto Mary Jane and some other things that just were kind of left. And actually, if you did check out, spoiler alert, everything that happens with the end of where Carnage ends up, go check out Spider University, which, believe it or not, was not a bad issue, which actually will deal with the fallout of the Carnage symbiote, while the rest of this will go over to Venom and whatever this is with Cousin Kane, which makes me want some Raising Canes, actually. That sounds kind of good right about now after reviewing this issue. I'll give this issue a B minus. It's not bad, but I feel like it's sputtered at the end. And I have nothing else to say about that, everybody. I'm checking out for a couple of weeks. So if you want to check out more, please check us out on our various networks on Discord, our website at SpidermanCrawlspace.com, our YouTube channel, our podcasts, and our other social media pieces like Instagram. And for more information, everybody, go ahead and I will see everybody for our best reviews, talk, and everything else here on the Crawl Space. And I will check everybody in the lovely month of May. Read out.